This is the MGTOW Infinium here with another Infinium training session. This Infinium training session is entitled Intelligent Ignorance. Now, my MGTOW brothers, the recent volcanic eruption in the Tonga region of this world reminded me of how intelligent ignorance is used to control men. This came from an experience which happened years ago while I was still in my super simp days. I was sitting in a restaurant with my last ex and her peeps. And of course, I had to pay for the entire meal, my ex, her peeps, and me. But I digress. During the course of the meal, my then ex began to pontificate intelligently upon a subject where she had great ignorance. Her specific statement was, the continent of Africa is so pure that there are no volcanoes on it. And although I was a super simp, I was also knowledgeable in earth science and knew that the aforementioned statement was wrong. My brothers, the earth is a seismically active planet and there are volcanoes on every continent of this planet. As well, there are volcanoes on Venus, on the planet Venus, the planet Mars, Io, a moon of Jupiter, and so forth. I did correct my ex, but as things go, women are always right. What I'm getting at, my brothers, is that we as men now face the same type of intelligent ignorance when it comes to how we are confronted by women in regards to the value of the MGTOW philosophy to us. Now again, intelligent ignorance is basically where something preposterous is presented in an intelligent manner. As well, the preposterous nature of what is being presented comes purely out of the lack of understanding of what is being presented. Which, when it comes to the red pill process and the MGTOW philosophy, womanists have been working overtime in regards to intelligent ignorance. My brothers, if we look deeply or look deeper into the tactic of intelligent ignorance, because that's what it is just a tactic, we will find that it is a multi-pronged effort on the part of women to, number one, prove that they are more intelligent than men. My brothers, I have to occasionally shop in Walmart, more than I actually want to, but that being said, I was in Walmart one day and I was at the self-checkout and I was trying to ring up some items. And one item wouldn't ring up because the barcode of the item wasn't programmed into the system. So, of course, before I could plug the barcode into the system, a Walmart pixie runs up and grabs the item out of my hands and begins to plug in the barcode for the item, and then she sends me on my way. I came back a few weeks later, got the same item, and again, the item would not ring up because the item's barcode was not plugged into the system. So I plugged in the item's barcode into the system, and this pixie, when she saw me, ran up to me and says, "You learned something, didn't you?" And I became insulted, and I turned to her and I said, I knew how to do this because I programmed these systems before. I knew how to do all of these things because I've set up these types of systems. The barcode scanner that's there, I've set those up. The hand scanner, I've set those up. I've run inventories in stores. I've done all types of things before she even helped me with that one item those weeks before. And so, in that manner, in that sense, she didn't teach me anything because I knew how to do what I needed to do in terms of plugging in the barcode. And again, her feeling was that she knew more than me because She ran up to me and plugged in that barcode, not thinking that I was a man of experience and I had known how to do these types of things because I've done those things in the past. And in terms of what she was doing, I wasn't running a cash register. I could run a whole store as I've done so in the past. Number two, excuse me, my brothers, to subdue and entrap men into their Venus flytraps. This is where, my brothers, a woman uses her feminine wiles on a man to convince him that she's virgin material when in actuality she's a run through 304. So, for instance, back in the day, I had a quote unquote Christian comedian tell me that she was a reconstituted virgin and that God had reconstituted her hymen, so to speak. And on face value, if I was a super simp, I would take that. But even in those days, I found that to be ludicrous because she was using a biblical construct, or she was trying to establish a biblical construct of why I should accept her as a run through 304. It's not saying that God can't do a miracle like that, but it's saying that how ludicrous this statement was. And that instead of saying that, look, I have been a woman who's done this and I have asked God to forgive me, she comes with a statement which is based upon biblical intelligence, but in actuality is ignorance not only to the Word of God, but ignorance on how she should deal with a man fairly, and how the Bible says that women should deal with men. So all these things she did to me, that's what I'm saying, my brothers. Again, they will pontificate. They will say something that says something that seems to be intelligent, but is based upon ignorance. In her case, again, it is based upon biblical ignorance. I'm saying this to you, my brothers, because there is a lot of this going on right now. There are a lot of women running around saying that they are Christians, but they are actually chameleons who are hiding. They're actually Jezebels, I should say. They're hiding behind a veil of Christianity, and they're using the tactic of intelligent ignorance to not only get you entrapped into the Venus flytraps, but also cause you to be enslaved, cause you to be shamed, all types of things to you, my brothers. And so that's why, again, be aware of these things. Number 3, to infiltrate. Right now, the manospheres are being infiltrated by womanists who do not want men to red pill or to go MGTOW, which these womanists are using a variety of reasons, like racism. For instance, there is a lot of garbage going around about the MGTOW philosophy being formed by white nationalists. And in actuality, that is not true. And in actuality, it can be said that black men, for instance, were the first MGTOWs because of the way things have gone. But again, I digress. What is going on, my brothers? Again, we have women out there, womanists out there, who are doing these types of infiltration tactics. They're going out and quote unquote infiltrating the manospheres and trying to find out all types of things about the MGTOW philosophy which are quite false. And what's happening is that these women are coming back with blogs or YouTube videos, all types of things which are saying that MGTOW men are violent, MGTOW men are racist, MGTOW men are trying to destroy society, all of which are being presented in an intelligent manner, but in actuality, the foundation of what is being said is based upon ignorance. Simply put, the MGTOW philosophy is one of peace. The MGTOW philosophy is one that sets men free from womanism. And finally, the MGTOW philosophy, those men who have embraced it, just want to be left alone. Number 4, to try to convince men to come back to them. And that's you. Now, my brothers, we all remember that statement which was made some years ago by a womanist, or womanist noir, I would say, who basically was spouting off that good men now need to come back. And she was, quote unquote, trying to present this in an intelligent manner, but in actuality, it was based upon ignorance. And the ignorance is where this statement was made years ago. And we are now in 2022, and this statement has still popped up. But the ignorance is where these women can say, men can come back, men, it's safe to come back, good men, come back to us because we need you to help us to do whatever we need to do. We need good men in our lives. But yet in all the years that these things have been said, where all these Nawals have said these things, that yes, feminism is wrong, yes, we need to change things, there has been no change. It is still where men are being divorced, raped on a regular basis, their lives are being destroyed. It is still where men, if they make a mistake and smile at a woman and say, you look nice today, they can be thrown into jail on a charge of rape. It has been years. And so the ignorance there is that we men are ignorant to that condition, which again, we men have been telling them over and over for years that there has to be change, there has to be accountability on the part of women. But no, again, we have a scenario where what I consider to be mind vomit now is fed to us in an intelligent manner, which again is based upon the ignorance that we men cannot critically think and understand things and point out errors and the lack of accountability on the part of women. All these types of things, these things are still going on. And then again, it is going on and has been going on for years. Number 5, to censor, embarrass, and intimidate men when they do speak up against womanism. And again, this takes me back to number 4, where again, we have for years pointed out to women that they need to take accountability for their actions. They need to start doing things. They need to start making the changes. But again, what is being done, well, I'll put it this way, my brothers. I go through a almost daily type of situation that for instance, if I go out on Dak's channel or somebody else's channel and make a comment, I go through a daily exercise in having those comments deleted for no reason other than censorship. And so what I'm saying is that for an intelligent reason, I am being censored because of ignorance. And that ignorance is that I, as a man, cannot speak out. I don't have the right to speak out. That's what it is, my brothers. And that is also to embarrass me, to intimidate me, to say that women have all the power, all the capability to shut me up as a man. And I have nothing. I have no rights. And that is a point of intelligent ignorance because, first of all, because of the MGTOW philosophy, I do have the right. I do have the right, and I do have the right to speak out against these things. And I also have the right to walk in this land in freedom and in peace and go my way in freedom and in peace, whether these women think so or not. So again, it is to censor, to embarrass, to intimidate men when they do speak up against womanism. My brothers, we must remember as men that the use of We must remember that the use of intelligent ignorance is for the most part a lesson in futility for womanists. It's not working, my brothers. Overall, what it's doing is actually causing more men to red pill and to go MGTOW. And more importantly, my brothers, recognize that when the tactic of intelligent ignorance is used upon you, to understand it and to not let it frustrate you on your walk along the MGTOW path. And finally, my brothers, don't let the past haunt you along your journey on the MGTOW road, but let it encourage you because your eyes are open to the insidious tactic of intelligent ignorance. This is the MGTOW Infinium, and this has been an Infinium training session. My MGTOW brothers, as always, stay safe, stay strong, stay on the MGTOW path, and remember, MGTOW is the liberation of men's minds. MGTOW cannot and will not be stopped.